And welcome back to another episode of Am I the Bad Person? Not really what it's called, but we keep it family friendly here. Today we've got a really short one. It's looking like, am I the bad person for not covering my friend's birthday bill at a fancy restaurant? We're getting off to a great start with this title. One of my close friends, Sarah, recently celebrated her birthday. She sent out an invite to a group of us saying she wanted to have dinner at her favorite restaurant to celebrate. I was excited because Sarah and I had been friends for years, and I always try to make her birthday special. When we arrived, it turned out that the favorite restaurant was an upscale place I'd never been to before. The menu was shockingly expensive, like $50 for a basic entree. Expensive. I'm currently on a tight budget, so I ordered the cheapest dish and water, thinking I'd just focus on enjoying the company. At the end of the night, Sarah announced, since it's my birthday, I'm assuming you all don't mind splitting my bill. I was taken aback because she didn't mention this beforehand, and her bill was more than $150. Everyone else awkwardly agreed, but I quietly told her I couldn't afford to chip in and that I hadn't planned for the expense. Sarah was visibly upset and said I was ruining her birthday by being stingy. Some of our friends sided with her, saying it's customary to treat the birthday person. I left feeling humiliated and wondering if I was in the wrong. Am I the bad person? So I assumed you're nice enough to think like this would be bad on your part. It's humiliating regardless, I feel like, to most people anyway. Whether it's right or wrong to have been forced to pay, it's still kind of humiliating. First of all, to be shown to not have that much money. Second of all, to just be visibly going against the pack when going with them would be, a nice thing, a good favor to do for your friend on her birthday. And third, disappointing your friend on her birthday. But at the end of the day, man, we're not all made of money. Some people have tight budgets. It's good to have a budget. Everyone should have a budget. These expectations should have been communicated beforehand. I'm wondering why Sarah didn't do that. I guess it's kind of one of a few different things. One is she thought you would say ahead of time that you weren't going to be able to make it, or she thought someone would say that if she said ahead of time. Two is she kind of just assumed everyone would just be okay with it, like it's not even worth saying because it's such an obvious thing. So it's one of those things, to be honest. Let's go to the comments. Not the bad person. If friends decide to organize a birthday meal for someone, then they may as well agree to split the guest of honor's meal. But then they also chose a restaurant that they can afford. This is not the case here. You don't invite people to celebrate your birthday somewhere expensive, then hit them with your bill. That's absurd. I kind of agree. I guess it really depends. Depends on your friend group. Like if you're all ballers and everybody's got money to spare, then I guess it's no big deal. But I mean, just the sentence alone, I just could not say when she said, since it's my birthday, I'm assuming you don't mind splitting my bill. That's just crazy. I can't even imagine those words leaving my mouth. Like, it's just weird. I would personally just pay for my own thing if I wanted a thing like that. Or I'd talk to the people beforehand, ask them if they could pay. I'm assuming nobody really knew where they were going because she says Sarah was one of her closest friends and she still didn't know her favorite restaurant. So it's just weird that people just show up without knowing how much they're going to spend. Everyone has different financial situations. It's inconsiderate to assume everyone can afford a pricey meal, especially at a restaurant no one else chose. Exactly. At least if people chipped in about it, if people were like, hey, what restaurant should we go to? And different people said this same restaurant, even if they didn't know they were going to pay, it would make way more sense to ask them to pay after that. Not the bad person. Someone just feels a little too entitled. People can't expect others to pay for them like this. Yeah, it's weird. Not the bad person. It's unfair to expect other people to cover a big bill without notice. That's just entitled behavior and shouldn't be encouraged no matter who the person is, or I might add, or what day it is, happens to be their birthday. I think that notice should have been given. It's not a bad request to want people to pay for your meal on your birthday. It's not a bad thing at all. It's just good to talk about it, and it's very much not good to blame someone for not being in a position to do that when you didn't tell them in the first place. I mean, even if you told her, she'd have been fine saying she couldn't handle it, because that's just life sometimes. You don't know her situation. And extra messed up is saying she's ruining your birthday. That's just all kinds of wrong. But anyway, that's it for me. Comment what you guys think about it. I think you'll agree, but maybe you don't, so just comment. Either way.